Welcome back, everyone. Um, no, I was gonna say, welcome back, everyone, to the classroom. No, I'm gonna say that from now on. Yeah, welcome back, everyone, to the classroom. I'm gonna do Blue Beetle today. Um, okay, the first ever Blue Beetle was. I'm sorry. Hold on, I gotta say something. Um, I did Spider-Man and Batman, and I think you guys liked it. But I got a comment, and I'm not gonna sit here and say a hate comment, but no, um, I don't think you guys hate this. No, I got a comment saying that I need to speak louder, and in the future and now I will try to do that. Okay, I promise. Okay, so the first ever Blue Beetle is Dan Garrett. And as we go through Blue Beetle's first and second series, um, we'll try to figure out what happened to Dan Garrett because um, Dan Garrett is not his um, his comic books are way too old to be on the comic in the DC Infinite app. I was gonna say the Comic Infinite app, but the DC Infinite app. So I'm gonna give you guys some homework. Try to go find it somewhere on the internet, and you guys can read that. But Dan Garrett was the first Blue Beetle, and the second Blue Beetle was Ted Kord, and we're going to be reading all about him. Okay, so the first issue it was in. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Now I know you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, he doesn't know." Okay, we caught him on that. No, it was it was in hold on. I'm trying to think what that flash was. Okay, I just looked it up on my channel. It was the first issue of Ted Kord's Blue Beetle was in um issue 6 of Showcase. It just says Showcase. But it's not on Infinite Comics. I know you're probably gonna comment and say, what isn't on Infinite Comics? And I'm probably thinking that too. What isn't on Infinite Comics? But it's probably too old to probably be on there. Well, probably the date is. But, well, we got lucky with all those Flash comics. And just to give you a little spoil, after this issue that I'm gonna tell you all about, or if you want me, I can read to you. Um, we're gonna finish off the Spider-Man. Sorry, I meant. Sorry, it's the Spider-Man. I meant Flash issue. With the showcase. Okay, I don't know why it's like this. Sorry, I didn't mean to show you the other parts. Okay, I fixed it. Okay, sorry, I just. Okay, so we open up while he's in his Beetle mobile. And it says, think I'll see what I can tune in on and the sound wave magnifier. Okay, and then it says, atop the awesome vehicle, hypersensitive antenna probe about for sounds in the night. Okay, and then he's looking to see if anything bad is going on. And inside, nuts. Wouldn't you know it? Nothing but a bunch of late show on TV. Bang, bang. Shots, that means action. Better tune in the Sonic Raider and be on my way. Now all I gotta do, switch to remote control pilot and the Raider to source of the shots. Okay, and then he goes flying off. Okay, and then he almost hits a building. Okay, and then he finds where the shots were fired. And then he says, there they are. Now I'll see if all my practice and training has paid off. Okay, and then he finds the people that were shooting. And then he says, hey, killer, look. What the? Let's get out of here. Get up. Get him, you guys. No costume creep's gonna spoil this heist. Looks like the Blue Beetle is about to crash a going away party. And then he starts beating them up. And then he says, I may not be the same guy, but my goals are the same. And he's still beating them up with a kick and a punch. And he's beating them all up. And then suddenly, duck. And then it says, duck, man. Huh? And then they try to take off his mask, but they can't because it's really hard to. And then it says, "This is some get up. The metallic cloth won't rip, and I can't pull it off." And then they keep trying, and then the police come. And then he says, "Hold it. What's going on here?" And then Blue Beetle gets up. And then he says, "They're running away. I was too much for them." As Bumblebee comes, his fingers reaching for the Beetle insignia on the back of his glove. No time to waste. Must summon my flying bug. Under the Beetle insignia, a series of electric remote control buttons, which are activated by a tiny control point hidden in his fingertip. Okay. And then the device lowers down, and then he hooks onto it and then gets into the bug. And then he says, "Now I've got to get on the trail of Killer Coke." Take it. And he says, "Take it easy. We got it made now." There they are now. Let's see how your magnetic legs work, old girl. Boss, look up there. Easy does it now. Got it. Hang on, fellas. We're all going for a little ride. Sorry. Okay. And then he shoots them, and then the car flips upside down. And then he says, "Stop shooting, boys. He's liable to drop us." Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say flip upside down. He was holding them. "I don't feel so good, boys. She and I thought cops was all we had to fight." And then he threw him to the cops. And then they said, "It was all Blue Beetle's fault, officer. He planned all the robberies, then double-crossed us. He's the man you really want." Very interesting. I never did trust those crooks who run around in costume. Guess that wraps up the first episode in the life of the new Blue Beetle. Wonder what Dan Garrett would say if he could have seen me today. Okay, that was the first episode of Blue Beetle. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I'm sorry. No time to worry about that, though. That's a good thing. Croak didn't guess my. Hold on, sorry. Sorry, I thought that was the ending. Okay. Anyways, I was pronouncing that right. Didn't guess my mask locks under my chin and can only be removed by touching this under chin control button with my fingertip control. I'm glad all these scientific gimmicks worked out so well. If not for that nifty little mask gadget, Blue Beetle's new career might have started and ended all the same night. Okay, and then he flies away, and that's the actual end of Blue Beetle's first episode. Sorry.